There is a brand new theory roaming around the internet that Baylan Skoll, this is a little crazy, Baylan Skoll might be the brother of Obi-Wan Kenobi that Obi-Wan himself alluded to in the Kenobi show last year. A moment from that show that I've completely forgot about up until now, because outside of a couple cool moments in the 6 episodes that I believe it was, really wasn't a big fan of the show. But this all stems just from a little internet rumors, as always. I'm not saying this is the thing. I'm not even saying this is my theory, but I do want to talk about it. But I'll put it on the screen here for you guys. This was posted by Darth Goat Lord over on Instagram, and obviously I don't know if this is his Facebook account or not, but the account obviously posted that, remember in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, I still have glimpses, flashes really. My mother's shell, my father's hands, I remember a baby. Yes, I think I had a brother. Really don't remember him. This is, of course, during Obi-Wan and Leia, and then they were in that, like, transport thing with all those stormtroopers, or maybe this was before the troopers got, I don't even remember, because I haven't watched the episode since, but Obi-Wan was saying this to Leia nonetheless. And it is an interesting line that could come to something eventually, whether it involves Baylan or not. You know, what if there is a Kenobi brother somewhere out there? I don't know. Anything that could give us more Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know I'm all for it, as long as it's not directed by Deborah Chow and whatever the other person's name is. But let's talk about this Baylan Skoll theory, man. Listen, there is something that immediately pretty much debunks this, but I do want to talk about the overall idea that people are playing with, and I don't even know how big the buzz is, but Baylan Skoll possibly being Obi-Wan's brother. I don't even, you know, it's a cool idea, don't get me wrong, because this whole time we have been speculating on Baylan Skoll's backstory, which I think we might finally get in episode 6. Could be wrong, but we'll drop some episode 6 predictions at the end of this video, since I unfortunately didn't get the chance to post them this week. That is what happens when the weather starts to change and Noah Nation's allergies take him out for the count. But nonetheless, like, there's been a lot of speculation as to what Baylan Skoll's backstory was. Who was his master in the Jedi Temple? How did he survive Order 66? Where has he been since? What is his relationship with Shin? Is that just somebody he found that is now mentoring? Is that his daughter? All these questions we still don't have answers to. And listen, one very interesting backstory for Baylan could be being the brother of Obi-Wan. Unfortunately, but there is something that pretty much immediately debunks this, and that Baylan Skoll was at the Jedi Temple. And Obi-Wan, of course, was there all the time as well. And if Obi-Wan doesn't know who his brother is, well, then how would he have not found out at the Jedi Temple? They didn't sense each other, or if Baylan was so young, Obi-Wan sensed him. And at the same time, we don't really know the age of Baylan Skoll either. He could be older than Obi-Wan Kenobi for all we know. So, like, that simple fact alone, I think, debunks this little theory, even though I encourage the theories. I love that so many people are talking about Star Wars and speculating on this, that, and the third these last couple of weeks. Just speaks volumes on how great the Ahsoka show has been. And even though it is a cool theory, I don't think Baylan is a brother of Obi-Wan Kenobi, even though it would be cool if it made sense, but it doesn't really make sense. But I do still want to know more about Baylan's backstory and where he comes from, at least who was his Jedi master, because I think there's some very interesting playroom with that. I made a video a few weeks ago talking about why I think Plo Koon should be revealed as the former Jedi Master of Baylan Skoll. I think there's just a lot of connections there with Ahsoka that would make it a very emotional scene when that is brought to light. But people have thrown out other ideas as well. I've said Plo Koon. That's the idea I'm kind of behind. People have thrown out Sifo Dyas, possibly. There's been a bunch of names that people have thrown out as possibly Baylan Skoll's former master, but at the end of the day, dude escaped Order 66 somehow. Where's he been? So there's a whole nother section of his backstory that we need answers to. And we don't need some of these answers. Like, I do appreciate that some people, and I think Dave Filoni is one of these people, do like to leave some mystery in Star Wars. Like, I'm okay if we never find out where Yoda's species comes from, what their names are, if there's any more of them besides Yoda, Yaddle, and Grogu in the galaxy. Like, because there's just a lot of mystery surrounding that, and really knowing it wouldn't benefit us, and besides it just being cool. So, like, I'm okay with some mystery being in Star Wars, but if there's potential for Baylan's backstory to give us something very cool, whether it's another flashback or just an emotional scene, well then yeah, we could dive into it a little bit. We do at least have to know the relationship with Shin. Is she just a force-sensitive being that he found? Is it his daughter? If so, who was the mother? Did the mother get killed, and that's what led Baylan and Shin down a little bit of a darker road as the Dark Jedi, whatever you want to call them? And you know, I think episode 6 tomorrow night could very well be the polar opposite of last week, where last week we basically just focused on Ahsoka, Anakin, and then a little bit of Hera here and there. I could easily see tomorrow, and I would be perfectly fine with this. I would not be disappointed if tomorrow's episode was very much focused on Baylan, Shin, their backstory, and maybe the first look at Grand Admiral Thrawn that we have seen throughout this series. And some people may look at that as a downgrade coming off last week after it was such an amazing spiritual experience episode between Anakin and Ahsoka, but I don't think for one that Anakin Anakin has done in this series. There's of course the lines that he said in one of those final trailers where he's telling Ahsoka, like, you can do this, Ahsoka, yada yada yada, that we still haven't seen yet. So I do think Anakin will be appearing once more in these final 3 episodes. And I made the video the other day talking about Princess Leia possibly having an appearance in this show. Whether it's in episode 6 or episode 7 remains to be seen. I do think we'll see Hera having that hearing or whatever at the New Republic, and Princess Leia may be the one to be her voice of reason, since Ahsoka, who Mon Mothma said might need to be there to give Hera some backing. I think Princess Leia might fill those shoes, stand up for Hera, and try to rally her some support within the New Republic. So when it comes to tomorrow, like the last time we seen Baylan and Shin and Morgan was at the end of episode 4, where they shifted off in to the new galaxy to go find Grand Admiral Thrawn. So I do believe that, I mean, I'm just speculating here, but I could very much see episode 6 starting off with them arriving at the new galaxy, meeting up with Grand Admiral Thrawn, and then maybe at some point we get some backstory on Baylan and Shin. I think it'd be very interesting. And if that was the entire episode and Ahsoka only had like a small appearance in this episode, I wouldn't mind that, because it's not like it would be on the level of like Mando just taking over a Boba Fett episode that was completely like kind of weird. Like, these have been main characters, meaning Baylan, Shin, and Morgan. Eventually, when Thrawn enters the picture in the show, these are main characters of the show. So, like, them taking up a majority of an episode tomorrow, if that's the case, I don't really think it would be out of the realm of possibility, nor would it bother me. And I'm sure Ahsoka will still be in tomorrow's episode some way, shape, or form, but I can see her possibly not really having much to do until she gets to the new galaxy or runs into trouble on the way to the new galaxy. Those lines that Anakin said to Ahsoka during the trailer that we've yet to hear so far could come prior to a big battle. They do sound like motivating kind of lines, so maybe Ahsoka's going to try to meditate or something while they're just in this purgle on the way to the new galaxy, and maybe she's going to try to tap into the Force and talk to Anakin Skywalker. Maybe that's going to happen tomorrow and give us another touching moment between Anakin and Ahsoka. I do want to throw the discourse out to you guys. Leave your comments down below, one of what you think of the Baylan Obi-Wan theory. I don't really think much of it, even though I do think it is cool. And let me know your predictions for episode 6 tomorrow night down below in the comments. As you guys can see, we are rocking a good old Rogue Nation brand new trucker hat. This is kind of an early version, which is why the lettering is not the logo on the channel. But if you go over to the website, link down below in the description, we have Rogue Nation hats, the brand new logo that is all over the YouTube channel in like every single color: red, yellow, purple, green, teal, white, orange, and blue for Ahsoka. There's a couple other merch pieces as well, so feel free, if you guys want to support, to hit the merch store down below. It's all brand new, so brand new that I don't even have everything in yet, but I will eventually. And also, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing a massive Black Series and more giveaway right here on the Rogue Nation YouTube channel, so be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I apologize if I sounded a little stuffy during it, but hopefully by the time we get to our Ahsoka reactions tomorrow night, we're a little bit more cleared up. I'll see you guys in the next video. Instead of doing the piece, we're bringing something new to the Rogue Nation channel. If you watched last week's videos, this is where the fun begins.
This is Rogue 2. This is Rogue 2. Commander Skywalker, do you copy? This is Rogue 2.